So here I am standing on a transition zone. In this area in the forest, there's a little more light available, and so you're getting meadow species and grassland species that can come into the forest. And on this side, you can see that there's less light available at the ground level. The trees are taking up all the light, and so there's less of the grass species, less meadow species in here. And over time, it will start to transition to less and less light in your forest. And when you have a disturbance event, such as a tree falling down, lightning, a windstorm, that sort of thing, then you'll get these opening areas and it'll allow more light in, and then you get more meadow species and more grassland species, and you get more of your pioneer species coming in. So there's kind of this on and off dynamic that's happening in the forest, and you're working with very dynamic systems. So you need to think about the processes that are involved with establishing a healthy ecosystem, but also allowing that dynamic system to evolve. If we just create a monoculture over the entire area, then we're limiting the amount of possibilities that can happen. You can't have an old tree fall down randomly in the forest because all your trees are exactly the same age. So these are things you have to take into consideration when you're doing an ecological restoration project. Surrounding that large restoration field is this forest. So this is what you consider our reference ecosystem that we're trying to restore in that large open field that was agricultural land. This is not old growth forest, so it's been logged, and a lot of the bigger trees have been taken out, and you can see there's a lot of smaller trees that are growing up in trying to fill in the gaps within the forest. There's a lot more light there. We've got a fair bit more ground cover on the ground, but there is different age classes. So we've got young trees, we've got middle-aged trees, and we do have some older trees still in this forest. And it has a good representation of different species that would be typical to this area. And so that's sort of the template that we use when we try to restore a large agricultural area. Beside that, we're trying to extend this forest out, and we're trying to mimic the conditions of this forest out in that field. Obviously, it was degraded a lot, so moving it towards this ecosystem is going to take a much longer period of time. But we do have all our layers in this forest, and that allows us to mimic that process out in the agricultural area. Here you can see there's a fair amount of ground cover and a fair bit of organic matter on the ground. So after a logging event, you get a lot of little trees coming up, and they go up very quickly. They're long and thin, and then at some point they have what's called a clearing effect. They have a die-off where one of the trees actually makes it to the canopy and then starts taking over, blocks out the light, and then the other trees start dying off so that it starts to become more open. So this is undergoing that process. It's kind of a gap filling in effect after a logging event. And you can see there's still a lot of different fungus in the forest, a lot of dead material, dead woody material, and so the forest still retains a lot of its natural characteristic that would exist in a healthy forest. And then if you were going to come in here and do some sort of management on the forest, some sort of stewardship, maybe you would cut some of the smaller trees out so that it would release some of the other trees so that they could grow faster and fill in the gap. Or you could just leave it alone and allow it to go through its natural succession process. A lot of times allowing it to go through its natural succession process is the better option, because you're allowing the trees that have the best potential to reach up to the canopy, whereas if you're going in and selecting, okay, I want this spacing for the trees, you're not selecting for the best tree, you're just selecting for the spacing. Also, all that organic matter, that's part of the natural succession process. When all these trees grow up, they're actually adding a lot of organic matter, and then when they die, they're adding it to the soil, so that whatever trees are getting to the canopy have a lot of organic matter to work with as well. So around the edge of this large restoration site is the original forest that was here. So this is a temperate forest. We also call it a Carolinian forest. And there's this transition zone, what we call the ecotone, between the forest and the open restoration area. And so we're trying to utilize that ecotone area by facilitating its spread out into the restoration zone. And you can see that from the tall forest here, it's gradually decreasing and decreasing as it gets out into the field. And on the edge are a lot of pioneer species, and species that are pioneer are creeping out. Things like raspberry are creeping out, poison ivy, and the sumac. And then you can facilitate this transition by planting the edge with different species that will help to move the forest out further and further. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please consider supporting us on Patreon. Your support keeps these videos free for everyone.